Hey, what's up everybody? Today, we're going to talk a little bit about doing some base work. Now, in the year 2012, no one has a reason to have a base with just some dry brushed sand and maybe a chunk of rock. It doesn't make sense. There's plenty of low cost, cool stuff that you can do, and I'm going to go over a couple of things I like to do with stuff. This guy right here, my Thunderwolf. This base, this is actually the sandstone parts, the big rocks, or broken glass that I painted up. You have to use like a flexible adhesive though, like a silicone or window seal or something like that. Something that's gonna have a little give, or the glass will it'll break off. Just some little rocks, a couple kinds of static grass, some of the turfs, those little tufts you can get from Army Painter or GW. Those work really awesome. This guy took about maybe 10 minutes to do, minus the paint. And yeah, I think it came out pretty good. Easy to get, real cheap, the glasses, in the mosaic aisle, like at Michael's or your other craft stores. Easy to get. This guy now, this guy's a little better, I think. This guy, the broken concrete, so you got some bullet holes and some, use a little pigment on there to make it look like there's some water running around on them. You got some sand and the same grass, but this is vinyl tile, a little trick I picked up from Awesome Paint Job. It's about 63 cents at your local Lowe's or Home Depot. 63 cents for a square foot, so it's dirt cheap, and it's a lot easier to work with than the broken glass. I was using that shit for years. And now I use pretty much this only if I need broken rocks and stonework. Here's another one of my Dreadknight Terminators. Not quite done with this guy yet. He's a test model for the whole terracotta scheme, which I'm digging, as you'll see in a minute here. This is the vinyl tile again, just broken up. This one's a little different. I just build them up on it, give it two pieces to make it look like some slate. Got the dirt down there and a little white rock, just for some contrast. That's another thing too. You don't want it to be all the same. You want a little contrast in your stuff. So don't get carried away with just one technique. Now this guy, this is I cobbled him together the other day. These are little soapstone tiles that you can get at your local craft store. Get in the mosaic aisle. You got the vinyl tile here. Do some rubble. I can't wait to paint this thing up. I'm really excited about it. I think the build went pretty well. And you see here? Now on this part here, I built this up into a whole wall. The whole wall was there. And then put it on the table and give it a bash. Then I started at the top, I took one tile off, put some glue on it, put it back on, let it sit for a second. Then I picked it up, then these two came off, put glue on the bottom of them, put them back on, and I just went down, and by gluing it like that, I was able to preserve the damage that I caused from like the earthquake or a bomb going off, whatever, Get shot with a tank, and it preserved the natural tilt, how they're all skewed off, and they're shaking. The foundation stayed, but this part of the wall broke down, and I think it came out pretty good. Hopefully here I can paint it up in the next day or two and do another video on that. Then the Dreadknight. He sits right on the flat part there. I think that's gonna look pretty darn good when it's all done. When it's all done up. This guy I'm actually pretty proud of. Got a good blend here on the sword. Pretty happy with it. It still needs a little, these are just base coats. But I got I just started with ultramarine blue with the game color line, ultramarine blue, and just kept adding white to it until I got to this really light blue. Did it on both sides. Got as even color changes I could. But yeah, that was super easy. I did it with an airbrush. So, but then this part I'm pretty proud of too. The shins and the knee. I'm pretty happy with the blend I got on that. I actually sprayed ink on it to tone it down. I built it up with the reds, the terracotta, and dark brown. Started with terracotta and worked up to a scab red and a little bit of desert yellow on the top and tan for the brightest parts, tan and desert yellow for these raised parts right here. And then I toned it all down with a Secret Weapon sepia, dark sepia wash and some Vallejo sepia wash, because it's a little browner. It's not quite as dark. See, I dropped them the other night. I'll glue a purity seal or something on there. And then we got the blue power cords with a little bit of black ink on them. Tone it down a little bit. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm pretty happy with this guy, the way he's, so far, he's a work in progress. But I'm pretty happy with the shading. Got nice and light on the top, dark at the feet. And, hopefully he'll come out pretty good. But, the bases, remember, we're in the future now. It's 2012. Don't just freaking glue some rocks, glue some sand on there, and dry brush it and call it a day. Take some time. Take 15 minutes. You know, spend $10. If you spend $15, you can get probably enough to do, you know, half your army, if not more, depending on what it is. This was about half the pack of rocks. It was $4 for the soapstone tiles, and there's twice as many. They come in all colors. You can use them unpainted, even if you're really, you know, if you're not, you know, too into painting, but you want something nice. You can pick out the colors that are, you know, a good contrast, good complement to what you're doing. And there's all kinds of stuff. They got little bricks, little stones, all kinds of just little stuff in that mosaic aisle. And they, you know, the vinyl tile, dirt cheap, breaks really easy. You can score it and have it break. That's how I did the bottom part. You can score it and then it breaks real easy. You can get rough shapes of what you want. And I can't wait to paint this thing up, and hopefully it'll turn out really good. Until next time, guys, take it easy.